Welcome to another episode of Mark My Words, where I interview people that are on topics that I'm interested in. And today we're going to focus on comics and comic books. And I have the wonderful Gage here today joining us. Say hi, Gage.
Hello.
And Gage, I follow his TikTok, which I enjoy all his content, is why I decided to reach out and say, hey, let's collab, let's do this, let's geek out, let's talk comics. So Gage, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been collecting comics and what got you into comics?
Jeez. How long I've been collecting comics? That's a deep answer. Or a deep question. Well, messing up my words here. I've been collecting like off and on like since I was 15, but when I started taking it more seriously, I was right about like 22, 23 years old. Where I needed to find, I was like in a crisis, needed to find a new hobby, instead of going out and just drinking every night. So comic books were there, and I found this little community, and I actually would like to shout out like a bigger creator here, and it's mainly everybody likes to hate on him. It's actually two creators, Cosmic Collector and King and Queen Lion, and those two alone, I was all like, oh, this is kind of cool. I'm gonna start picking up these books myself, and then lo and behold, I've become a sucker for consumerism.
Well, there's nothing wrong with consumerism, especially if it brings you joy. And I think I
Yeah.
remember seeing one of your videos where you were just very honest and transparent about how comics saved your life. And to me, that is what kind of drew me to a lot of your content and reviews of what you're collecting or reading. So I really appreciated that honesty that you brought to the connection to comics. And I do believe that comics can be a gateway not just to education, but to a sense of identity and also some form of belonging. Because I feel like folks who tend to be into comic books tend to be outsiders or outcasts. But I think that's changing or has changed throughout the years now as comic book movies have become very popular and Comic Cons have, have been very popular. Out of curiosity, have you been to any Comic Cons?
Yes, I've been to San Diego Comic Con twice. I went once in 2015, and then I went again like about 2 years ago. And it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was there, I think, a couple of years ago as well. I wonder if we ever cross paths, but there's so many people. But if I ever go again, I usually present when I go there. So I'm hoping that we could coordinate and maybe meet up there. But did you have a good experience? Did you have a good time?
Yes. However, that first day was hot as fuck. They did not have the fucking AC on. Part of my language. But
all right.
Yeah, and I was smelling musty at the end of it. Man.
Yeah. Yeah. There are folks who go to Comic Cons that I think need to realize they're not the only ones there. And people's,
the fucking deodorant that I brought sucked. It sucked. It did not work. Did not last at all. I'm all like, dude, I can't be smelling like this, especially after I showered in the morning,
Yeah, it's a lot of people, and it's very hot. I think I even saw like an Instagram post where I think like Irish Spring or some deodorant company had an ad at Comic-Con, and it was hilarious that there's that stereotype that collectors tend to smell a certain way.
Oh, and it does. It is fucking true because some of them don't wash their ass.
There are definitely personalities out there. So speaking of collecting, I know you collect from various publishers, and I think one thing that I really admire about you is you tend to are raving about the independent titles, right? Not necessarily like DC and Marvel, although you do read those as well. I'm curious to know, do you have you know, a publisher that you enjoy most, and what titles are you enjoying at the moment?
It's honestly gotta be it's a tie between Image Comics and Boom Studios. I think because those two companies have my like personal top 10 favorite books. Actually, top 3. Let's just get that out the way. You know, like Image has got Saga. Saga's amazing, right? And as well as they're doing the well, it's not really independent stuff. It's the Energon universe. It's a Hasbro kind of ordeal, but Robert Kirkman is kind of owning this shit, so it kind of makes it independent. It's a weird situation,
Yeah.
right? But is like I said, like it's the tie between those two. Boom Studios also has Something is Killing the Children, House of Slaughter, that whole what is it? Sick Tick universe. And big Jason Aaron fan. So Once Upon a Time at the End of the World, great miniseries. If you haven't read it, you need to go check it out. It's one of the best love stories. And as well as for manga lovers, like anime lovers, I Heart Skull Crusher. I Heart Skull Crusher is fucking fantastic. It is still ongoing, I believe. I think they just wrapped up issue 8. They're releasing that book slowly.
Okay. I mean,
For
typical
whatever
manga,
reason.
right? Like manga takes forever for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just perfect. Like chef's kiss, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while since I
Yeah.
read Image, but I have been trying to catch up to Saga. I know they took a break a little bit, and Boom Studios, I think, brings out amazing content. One of my
Oh,
friends and oh yeah, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, I forgot not to mention the Ghost Machine shit. Jeff Johns, and fucking Peter J. Tomasi are
Mhm.
running the show over there, and Brian Hitch as well. Because I forgot
Okay.
he's doing the art for Red Code and all that.
Okay.
But Rook Exodus, Geiger, Red Coat, uh, what is it? Hornsby and Halo, and the Rockefellers, all amazing books. Some of them I haven't kept up with. Oh, and Hyde Street too. If you're a fan of horror,
Okay.
Hyde Street is amazing.
Okay. I love horror. Actually, that's one of my favorite genres, so I have to check that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Boom Studios is a great publisher. If you're familiar with Mark Russell, he's put out some books in Boom Studios. I love anything Jeff Jones writes. I know
Oh
he's got
yeah.
a little bit of a reputation, but what he's done in
Yeah, he does.
DC has been really phenomenal. So I have to check out some of your recommendations. So yeah, I appreciate the fact that you bring in a lot of independent titles. I'm curious to know, are you reading any DC or Marvel?
Yes.
Which ones?
Mainly DC because it's fuck Marvel right now because it's not because of Marvel Comics, it's because of their parent company, Disney, right?
Mm.
And we don't
Mhm.
need to get it. That's a whole other
That's
subject,
another episode.
for
Yeah.
another time, right? Um, but DC with their absolute universe has been killing it. That's what has been like drawing me to that company the most is like they're taking these legacy characters and essentially flipping it on their heads and doing something that is what I wanted the Ultimate Universe to do, in which I feel like it's not really doing. You know, they're taking things like know and love about these characters, and like, well, what if we did this? What if we changed the mythos? What if a fucking Batman villain is actually a Superman villain? What what if we fucking made all the Batman villains just souped up monsters? Okay. What if we made Wonder Woman a witch and went really heavy into her Greek roots? Fire. Okay.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. I love the absolute line, and I agree with you that this is what Ultimate Universe with Marvel had could have been. I think Ultimate tend to just kind of retell from a different angle, but Absolute does like a flip of unexpectedness, right? Like you said,
Yep.
you have Superman with no supporting cast, no, Ma and Pa can't to really raise him. You have
Yep.
Batman, who is like an urban myth that everyone's afraid of, and then you have Wonder Woman, who has no Amazons and has to rely on her magic, which is an area of the character that they've not really explored except
No.
through this current run. And I mean, all the awards that Absolute Wonder Woman has won is so well deserved, because I think it's one of the best titles of the Absolute line. And I know you're looking forward to the team up with her and Absolute Batman.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
been raving about that.
And it's like the Ultimate Universe had the Ultimate Universe had 2 years to do that. They haven't even crossed paths yet, and that's what I'm wanting now. We got that within 1 fucking year of the Absolute Universe. 1 year,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And I know you read Absolute Evil, right? Because I think you posted
Yep.
it. Yeah.
Yep.
Spoilers if you haven't read it. What they did with Hawkman and Green Lantern in just like a panel or two or page or two was so like iconic, and I can't wait to see what happens in. I think they're gonna have Absolute Green Arrow eventually. So I don't know if you have any thoughts on that scene.
That shit is funny. And I think it's an Al Ewing thing. Al Ewing, if he doesn't like a character, he's gonna make it known that he doesn't really fuck with the character, right? And I think he usually does this where he'll just be like, "Oh yeah, this guy's a bitch. Fuck him. You want your?" It was basically like, "Oh yeah, you want your Green Arrow? Here's your fucking Green Arrow, dead on the table."
Yeah, that scene was just unbelievable, which makes me think about who
I
Absolute Green
laughed at
Arrow
it.
will
I
be,
ain't gonna lie.
right? Yeah.
It might be Roy, but that book made me fucking laugh. Cause hold on. Not only did they do that to Green Arrow, but spoilers, at the end of the book, why the hell did they make Lex Luthor look like a car salesman? Tell me I'm wrong.
He looks totally Gen Z to me with the hair and everything. So I don't know what they hope to do with. Well, they made him younger, I guess, to kind of match the absolute Kal-El or Superman. So we'll see. But what was it? Did you read the most current Was it Wonder Woman? Where yeah, the most recent Wonder Woman, where Veronica Cale kind of gave
Yep.
previews of who she has locked up.
Yep.
Yeah, so that makes me.
That was crazy. But
Yeah,
you know what is insane? You know who had the same story?
Who?
Ultimate Doctor Strange from the Ultimate Black Panther story.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Where
Okay.
she was locked up, and Black Panther, no, it was Storm and Eric, what's his alias? I forgot.
I'm not sure.
Killmonger.
Oh, okay.
Right? And they went and freed Doctor Strange from this prison that was operated by the Ron Khonshu. And it was the same story. I'm all like, damn, they're going bar for bar, but this is crazy though. I
Yeah.
like it. I like it.
Well,
It's
what
gonna
what
be interesting um how it works. I don't think they're gonna fight. I think they're gonna end up teaming up.
I hope so, because I'm
Yeah.
curious to know how that surprising character at the end um, is going to play into this absolute universe. But one teaser that we saw was that kind of cat tail in one of the
Mhm.
cages, which makes me wonder. Wait, they have Barbara Minerva, so I'm a little bit confused. So maybe they're taking a whole different take on the character for one of Wonder Woman's arch nemesis. But yeah, I'm loving Absolute Wonder Woman. I
Yeah.
think, you know, one of the best written titles out there right now. So I guess my other question to you is, do you purchase comics to collect or just read, and both, or how big is your collection?
It's both, and I could honestly just flip this computer around and just show you the collection because it's insane. I got books on the floor that need to be boxed up. I need to buy more boxes, honestly. Um, but yeah, it's I like to read and I guess like to collect, you know. I mean if I have like a follow cover from like a Comic Con that I just, went to, um, yeah, I like to keep it and collect it and maybe ship it out to CGC. I know how a lot of people, this one content creator we've seen, like I don't know if it's on your feed, but it's been on my feed a lot. Um, they're talking about how they don't like graded comics and how it's just making it look like over glorified art. Well, here's the
Mm,
fucking thing. This is great art, and we want to keep it in mint condition, right? So yeah, of course, if I'm gonna have like a cover or a cover, whatever, that's going really like going for a lot of money, I'm gonna get that shit slabbed up to make it look nice and keep it, you know?
yeah, agreed. And that's kind of weird for folks to not consider comics as art because it is.
Yeah.
It's a form of art, whether it's a narrative or image art, it's art. And I think there's a lot of that misconception when it comes to comics. And you've heard folks, especially nowadays, who in any form of popular media, people are
Hmm.
like, oh, I don't like, my popular media to be too woke, right? And I think there are some folks who critique comics to be, political or woke. So I'm wondering, do you have any thoughts on comics for those who say, I hate my comics being woke or political or superheroes being political, especially, even with with the recent, like Superman movie, there have been a lot of critiques of that. So I'm wondering, what are your thoughts on about that when it comes to comics or superheroes being political or woke?
Is it okay if I get disrespectful on here to the right side? You
You may do what
okay?
you want. Yeah.
Because it's mainly the people that come from the right that say this shit. So, to my response to them is all like, is your media literacy just like not there? Because comic books have always been woke. Like, comic books have always been political. Um, Look at Spider-Man's villains alone. Half of them are rich assholes who get souped up on some super serum, right? To go fuck with a dude who is barely making money in fucking Queens, New York, living in a one-bedroom apartment, right? Broke off his ass. Good majority of the time, right? Um, Hello. Is it not there? Um, what else? What else? The whole time Lex Luthor was president, like, did you not get the media literacy there? Okay. Um, how about the X-Men? The entirety of the X-Men, every single X-Men story, like every single one of their villains, mutant, non-mutant, hate them, hate their kind. They, in fact,
Mm.
they go out of humans go out of their way to go on, like, fuck with another mutant, whether if it's just bullying them or sometimes, like, in the worst case possible, it's kidnapping or unaliving them. Like, what I'm just not getting the comic books are too woke when they've always been woke as fuck since the beginning of comic books itself.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
it's it's always been like that. And
Yeah,
the fact that people are like complaining about this shit, that there's more feminism being presented. Oh, I'm sorry that, like, you know, we give females opportunities to write the characters that they want to write, or write them in a non-misogynistic way that you, with your clearly 13-year-old fucking mind, thinks with, because none of these dudes have grown past the age of fucking 13. That's where they peaked at, and they just ended up getting older, sadly. But
yeah.
that's my thing.
No, and thank you for that, right? And a lot of
Yeah.
people have this misconception that comics is only for entertainment, when in reality, like you said, from day one, even from Action Comics #1, Superman was fighting for the underdog, right? He was fighting the corrupt landlord, the
Yeah.
corrupt politician, the domestic abuser. There was always this area of righteousness or
Hmm.
social justice movement that the superheroes have always done. And you brought up the X-Men, which is like an allegory for being different and being the outsider and being hated for who you are, for the way
Hmm.
you were born. Like that is just like, so if you can't read between the lines, then you should not be reading comics.
And it's another thing is, like, another argument I hear about, like, things are getting too woke is when we have, like, um certain versions of characters that are different race, like whether they're black, whether they're Asian, whether they're like Latino, whatnot. People are like, oh, it's too woke now. Like, we've been doing that since the longest fucking time. Like, John Stewart Green Lantern is the first black Green Lantern, right? Um, we've had like a little did people don't know this. We've had a check this out. We've had a black female Spider-Man long before Miles Morales. They did
Oh,
this in the 70s. It's just like, bro, if you want the rate, there's, I'm not saying there's not racist comics, and, you know, because there are, trust me, there's a fuckload of them. And I'm looking at Mark Millar when I'm saying this. Like, his work is atrocious and disgustingly racist, right?
mm,
Um, and I'm just like, you go ahead and you go enjoy that shit. Stop fucking complaining about the new shit. You know, we're enjoying our shit. We're having our moment. You could go ahead and live in the past. There's still those books for y'all that y'all want to read and complain about. You go ahead and you stick with that. Leave us the fuck alone. And we'll be over here minding our own damn business, enjoying the books that we talk about.
I love that. Thank you for that, Gage. So I guess one of uh, questions that I have is, what's one comic book you'd recommend to someone who's new to reading comics? What would that be?
Dude, there is so many. Honestly, the best way to answer this question is pick whatever book that you find interesting. Go to your local comic book store and just start with the issue one. Find a issue one that, like, really looks good to you, because the plus side of comics is you can really judge a book by its cover. You really can. Um, usually the better the artwork, the also, like, the better the story. I ain't gonna lie, you know. Um,
Mhm.
but Just go in any comic book store and pick up any issue that intrigues you. Start with issue 1. But if I had to pick one and you wanted a life-changing experience, it has to be Saga all the way. It has to be Saga
Yeah,
all the way. Go ahead and just buy that big old compendium, read that, and your life is changed.
agreed. I think Saga is one of the best written comics out there that not enough people are talking about. And maybe it's just because, again, it's been going on for a while now. It took a break and now it's come
Yeah.
back. And I'm surprised it hasn't been turned into a live action series. I mean, like, it's great content to
So
have.
actually, there's a reason why behind it won't like they won't do a live action.
Oh,
Brian Vaught or
Kayvon.
oh no, Brian K. Vaughan. I don't know
Mhm.
why I said I'm thinking of the boys, whatever for whatever reason. Vaught Industries. uh Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples, they were approached by Amazon to do a TV show for Saga, and they went and turned them down, and they said that they want to keep this strictly as it is because they don't think that they could tell the story like of Saga through a TV series through a certain amount of seasons. And I completely agree with that because there's so many fucking stories of Saga that it's like hard to explain the entire like thesis around it, you know? Um because it is one big saga. It's one big ass story.
Yeah, and so many fascinating characters that I think just tells their own like
Mm-hmm.
part of that universe, right? Like my favorite character is the Lion Cat. Even that minor character is
Yep.
just so entertaining for me. So
I fucking love
okay,
the Lion Cat.
yeah.
The
Okay.
babysitter, what's her name? I forgot her freaking name.
Oh
The
my
ghost.
gosh.
When
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
my god. I'm not gonna
yeah.
spoil it, but when that moment happened where she, was trying to go off and get something for Robot, right? Um, for the Robot Prince. Um,
Hmm.
and then that happened. I started bawling my eyes out. I just like I couldn't handle it. And then you see Hazel wake up and she's just losing her mind, like, where is she? Where is she? Uh
Oh yeah, that series pulls the strings of all emotion. So I
yeah.
agree. This would be a good if someone's new to comics. This would be a great comic to read. That that's not like super heroic. It's more about like family relationships being different and survival. I mean, there's so many themes in that Saga series.
Hmm.
So that's a great
And it's
recommendation.
still ongoing.
Still ongoing. Still ongoing. And I got to catch up. I don't even know where I left off. So I got to make sure I'm up to date on that. But
Oh,
so,
you
Gage, I
got
guess,
you got plenty of time.
yeah, my last question for you is where can folks find you? What social media platforms are you on so that, they can give you a follow?
Honestly, I'm mainly just like I'm on two social media sites. I'm on Instagram. You can find me at the Hardcore Daddy. It's just that. But you could also find me on TikTok, um, where I mainly stay at. Um, and that is also the Hardcore Daddy. But you gotta like look it up, hardcore_dad.
Okay, great. Well, I'm happy that we finally got to engage in person, quote unquote, unquote. As I mentioned, I enjoy your content. I appreciate your honest reviews and the titles that you read. I'm like, I need to pick this up because I need to break away from just superhero comics. I want to
Yep.
pick up some things that are outside of the genre. And I think what you provide is a good list that
Mhm.
I've seen so far. So I appreciate that. But yeah, give Gage or Hardcore Daddy a follow on Instagram and also TikTok. And hopefully we could do this on a live one day and just talk comics and see who else could join us and get some, engagement with our followers. So I appreciate you speaking with us and being my guest for today. Awesome. Well, I know you're a busy man, so I'll definitely reach out to you and kind of schedule some things ahead of time. So thank you. So with that, I thank you all for being here today, and thank you, Gage, for being with us tonight. Until next time, until I bring someone new on whatever topic that interests me, this is Mark from Mark My Words. Thank you.